What's up guys, it's me Max, and today we are here to end the idea of biased fanboys not believing that Hal Jordan has outerversal ranges of attack potency both physically and in terms of his energy attacks. I'm not here to call out any specific fan base. The Ben 10 fans always in my fucking comments swinging for me. But I am here to give you 5 instances or entire fights with clear evidence that Hal Jordan has outerversal AP and can slap gods using his high ends. This is especially true in the modern age, and for me, I consider the modern age ever since 2004's Green Lantern Rebirth. So sit back, like, and subscribe to both myself and the coffee shop content creators down below, link in the description, and if we hit 50 likes on this video, I'll drop a follow-up about some of Hal Jordan's run-ins with amped Superman villains. But for now, let's get to it, Lanterns. Number 1. Hal Jordan one time used the concepts of willpower in the form of his green ring against Crona, who had the power of Ion, the literal embodiment of willpower at his disposal. Hal overcame literal willpower itself with willpower to still manage to harm Crona, a mad guardian with an energy attack of his. Crona by himself is a Justice League or entire Green Lantern Corps villain before he even controlled Ion. Controlling Ion alone demonstrates he's cucking an outerversal level being. And before this moment, he had already demonstrated he could do stuff like that with a separate entity called Parallax, Ion being willpower and Parallax being fear. So either way you look at it, Crona is obviously above multiple outer gods in the first place in just this part of the story alone. Keep that in mind. This didn't stop Hal Jordan from damaging him either way. Number 2.
But Lumos,
Fanboy in denial responds.
that's an outlier. Hal doesn't normally fight against high-level threats like gods or outerversal level threats.
Okay, sure, Honcho Fan 69. But let's talk about the other times Hal Jordan has come across Parallax with hosts, including the time we just referenced before where Crona rolls up with Parallax. Keep in mind, with a host, these gods are much more powerful because they have conduits, okay? Hal comes across Parallax, who immediately possesses the Flash, Barry Allen. Although scared at first, Hal recovers himself and is entirely capable of throwing hands with Paraflash. Hal claims that the more fear Paraflash causes Hal, the more powerful Hal comes in response. Paraflash even claims that he can directly speak and communicate with the Speed Force itself, casually calling Speed Force Lightning directly to attack Hal Jordan. Keep in mind, this is a no morals Flash amped by Parallax. Parallax with just a normal human host like Hal Jordan is considered a threat around the likes of the Anti-Monitor. So imagine how dangerous this version of Parallax Flash is. Hal was still good slugging it out though. He actually won this fight in the end. Number 3.
But Lumos,
Says the fanboy again.
the Flash is the perfect host despite what Parallax claimed in that last story. So what if Parallax actually had a viable host?
Well, what a coincidence, Hal Jordan has viable times where he matches Parallax Sinestro. Parallax Sinestro is someone who is capable of shattering constructs made by Volthoom that kept out Kyle Rayner's as well as other entire cores worth of lanterns. And Volthoom is also literally the entire emotional spectrum, a variety of outerversal energies, much like Parallax or Ion, for example. Parallax Sinestro is somebody who has statements of being superior to even Parallax Hal Jordan, the same one that is literally compared to the Anti-Monitor. This same Parallax Sinestro later goes on to tank attacks from Life Equation Highfather, entirely slaughter new gods casually, and conquer the entire universe. Keep in mind, having Parallax Sinestro as somebody you come across in your base form and you can trade blows with him, that's absolutely crazy. Notice Sinestro's enraged here, but that doesn't stop Hal Jordan from beating him back. Number 4.
But that's dumb and an outlier, stupid.
Exclaims Honcho Fan 69.
Fighting Parallax Sinestro one time doesn't count.
Okay, fanboy, What if Hal Jordan fought a much stronger version of that Sinestro who devours Parallax and is amped by the Fear Engine, a machine that maxes out the energies of Sinestro Corps members higher than normally possible? Yeah, Hal did that shit too. And he also managed to take out Warworld, a planet-sized space station meant to fight the likes of the entire GLC, Mogo, and Oa. There's only two ways to look at what's happening here. Either it's A, that you believe Sinestro is literally holding back to the point of almost dying, teleporting away from essentially ruling the entire universe because, I don't know, he planned it or something. Or it's the more likely option, B, Hal scales evenly with him and managed to threaten his life to the point of sacrificing all of Sinestro's accomplishments and machinations up to that point, or Sinestro died in that battle. Which Sinestro would never do. He would never, flee unless he absolutely needed to. Hal literally became Will itself at the end of that battle to defeat Sinestro, as stated multiple times. Will itself is conceptual. But it never fails with the oncoming downplay of Hal Jordan, for some reason. I mean, look at this shit, bro. Look at this. Number 5.
Ridiculous,
says Honcho Fan 69.
Hal overcoming an emotional entity is insane. It's blasphemy. That couldn't possibly be real.
Well, if you think that's dumb, Hal's got dumber than that for sure. You think him overcoming one emotional entity is crazy? Man, remember that guy Crona from the beginning of the video from number 1? Crona went on to solo all of the emotional entities, and then made all of them his slaves. Then, using the power of those emotional entities, Crona had a final showdown with Hal Jordan. Guess what? Not only did Hal Jordan survive with this version of Crona, who had all entities, but he literally winds up in a scene straight out of Dragon Ball Z in a massive beam struggle with him. And then Hal flat out fucking kills Crona. The guy who scaled over all of those emotional entities collectively and was using them. The only person we've ever seen do something like that is high-end Kyle Rayner, whenever he literally bolos all of the emotional entities at once while they're trying to take over his body. This fight with Crona is the dumbest shit you can imagine in terms of just raw scaling. In conclusion, whether you are a fanboy or not, you have to acknowledge the fact that Hal throws hands with Outerversal gods, with or without hosts, pretty consistently ever since Jeff Johns' 2004 Rebirth and the rework of emotions like Parallax or Ion being emotional concepts, even outside of conceptual gods. Here's just a meme scan of base Hal and Sinestro fighting at the beginning of the story that I was referencing earlier, where Hal and Sinestro literally start bending reality simply by clashing another in a classic OG beam struggle. Keep in mind, they've only scaled much harder since then. I mean, Hal can literally now strike with the force capable enough to affect the entire emotional spectrum. As stated to be a bunch of Outerversal concepts. That being said, be sure to like and subscribe to both myself and the Coffee Shop content creators. Links in the description. Remember, if we hit 50 likes on this video, I'll slam you guys with a Hal Jordan versus Amped Superman villain video. I think could be pretty dope. And tell me what your favorite lantern feat is in the comments down low. I'm curious to see, out of those who made it this far, who says what. But that's enough for this video. That being said, I'll catch you later, Lanterns.